Hey everyone, welcome back to our podcast series, Building Better Relationships in Construction. We're thrilled to have you with us for episode 27. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sabrina. It's great to have you here. Today we're diving deep into another insightful chapter from Paul Schwinghammer's fantastic book, Building Better Relationships, a guide to enhancing the customer experience for home builders, remodelers, and construction managers. This episode is titled, If You Can Do It, Do It.
And while this is a well-known takeoff from a sports world apparel company, I really love this title for its simplicity and power. It's something we often overlook in our day-to-day operations, but it carries such profound significance in project management, don't you think?
Absolutely, Alex. Paul really nails it by showing how the simple act of delaying tasks can have such far-reaching effects. Procrastination doesn't just inflate project costs. It chips away at the very trust we work so hard to build with our clients.
Right. You know, it's surprising how often we fall into the trap of thinking that certain tasks are less urgent. The next thing you know, these small delays morph into huge stumbling blocks.
It's like when you're working on framing a house and you decide to put off the plumbing rough-ins. You think, we'll get to it next week, and suddenly you're facing a whole slew of problems as a result.
Exactly. That initial decision to delay can create a cascading effect. The insulation and drywall gets delayed, other trades can't progress, and what initially seemed like a small postponement ends up being a major bottleneck.
And of course, the client sees this and starts to question everything from timelines to management skills. That trust, it takes a real hit.
Paul describes this loss as a significant withdrawal from the relationship account. He's right, it can take months to recover trust and confidence once they've been eroded.
That's the crux of it, isn't it? By adopting the mindset of, if you can do it now, we can shift the paradigm to not just reactive firefighting, but proactive project management.
And the change, while subtle, can really transform how projects are managed. Like Paul suggests with examples, setting up water lines immediately after site prep or getting those windows installed as soon as framing is done.
Not to mention those little things, right? Those touch-ups or final finishes. They often get pushed down the list, and suddenly they're this insurmountable task that's grown bigger than it ever needed to be.
And tackling them early on prevents that pileup. It keeps the project timeline clean and uncluttered. But it's not just about timelines, it's also about the bigger picture.
Absolutely. So let's talk benefits, Alex. Timely action reduces what? Delays and rework, certainly. But beyond that?
Well, fewer last-minute surprises mean much smoother teamwork and lower stress levels. Your team isn't feeling the pressure of crunch time, and your client sees a clear, steady progression.
Exactly. And it also preserves the quality of work. When you're rushing to catch up, the workmanship suffers. You start seeing compromises that nobody wanted to make.
And clients notice this. That efficiency, that quality, it builds their confidence in your leadership, and that translates into a strong reputation for you and your company.
Now, Paul emphasizes the importance of communication, right? Not just with your on-site teams, but with your clients too. It's about setting expectations and being transparent about your approach.
Yeah, communication is critical. Letting clients know that tasks will be handled promptly not for speed's sake, but for long-term efficiency, really helps in reassuring them you're in control.
Although, let's not ignore the reality that you might face resistance. Sometimes trades and team members could push back with their own timelines or logistical concerns.
Exactly. And this is where Paul's advice comes in handy, balancing that flexibility with proactive management. It's about knowing when it's possible to move a task up and when it's not, and being transparent about those constraints.
That dialogue is key. Over time, what develops is a culture of immediate action. It's identifying opportunities and making sure to capitalize on them to maintain project flow.
And this mentality fosters accountability and professionalism within the team. It sets the company apart as one that is always moving constructively forward.
So the principle boils down to this. If you can do it today, whether it's installing a part, finishing a detail, or addressing an obstacle, do it today. Keeping momentum is key. And when you act on this principle, it not only controls costs and reduces stress for everyone involved, but also reinforces your reputation as a proactive and dependable leader.
It's like Paul tells us, by consistently prioritizing efficiency, quality, and professionalism, you cultivate trust. Over the long term, this approach doesn't just help keep projects on track, it strengthens all the relationships involved.
Right. Because when clients, trades, and teams see you are committed to delivering quality work promptly, they'll reciprocate with trust and respect. And that's invaluable in this industry.
So, thank you, Paul Schwinghammer, for highlighting the importance of acting swiftly. It's such a critical lesson for anyone in the construction field, or really anyone in project management.
Absolutely. And remember, everyone, you can grab your copy of Building Better Relationships, a guide to enhancing the customer experience for home builders, remodelers, and construction managers. It's available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble in multiple formats.
Thanks for joining us today, folks. Sabrina and I will be back soon with more from the Building Better Relationships in Construction series. If you've enjoyed this episode, please share it with your colleagues and friends. And remember, this podcast is based on the principles and practices found in the book, Building Better Relationships in Construction by Paul Schwinghammer, available in multiple formats, including audiobook on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Be sure to join us next week for episode 28, No Guessing, The Power of Clarity. Until then, keep building those better relationships.
Take care, everyone. See you next time.